Okay, welcome. My name is David, and this video is called the 7 Worst Radiation Dangers in Our Home or in Your Home. Uh, this article is on RadiationHealthRisks.com. So we're going to go through the first 3 of the radiation dangers, and then for the rest of the 4, I don't want to make this video too long. You can go to the article. I'll have the link to the article in the description below this video, and you can read the rest of the dangers there. Now, I don't want you to take this as, a scare tactic. Oh, the 7 worst radiation dangers. They are very dangerous, and I'm not trying to make light of them either. The World Health Organization a few years ago classified the type of radiation that a lot of these devices that we have in our homes put off as a carcinogen, meaning cancer causing. So these are bad news, especially when I tell you about the U.S. safety standards and how much these devices actually put off. It's a little sobering. We need to pay attention to it. The good news is there's protections out there in most situations. Some of the things you don't really need, you can do away with. Obviously, we'll talk about that. That's each person's own decision. But there's also protections that you can do to reduce it, to make some of these things less dangerous. And as we get into this, I'll go through a few of those as well. So, first off, let's talk about what radiation am I talking about? I'm talking about something called RF, or radio frequency radiation. Some people refer to it as electromagnetic radiation, or it's basically microwave radiation, the type of radiation that comes out of your microwave. It also comes out of other devices in your home. So that's what the World Health Organization classified as a carcinogen. And so let's get into it. Let's start talking about it. So the first one is a smart meter. Smart meter is not necessarily that smart to have on your house. Now, what is a smart meter? It's think about the normal power meter on the outside of your home or on your gas meter. Those are things that, just a few years ago, the power company used to send a meter reader out. They'd go walking through the neighborhood and walk by everybody's meter to read the meter on your house to make sure they were billing you correctly. Well, to save labor, to save work on that, the power companies decided to put these electronic smart meters on our homes, and that way they put relay stations every so often around cities. They use these cell towers and so forth. And the smart meter communicates with the cell towers or these relay stations, and sends the meter reading to the relay station, which relays it directly to the power company. And so the power company, literally from their office, looking on their computer, they can see what everybody's meter is currently reading. It's great for the cell phone company, not so good for us. So they sell this by saying that, oh, this is so great, this is techie, this will help you save and manage. You'll be able to reduce your power bill if you have these smart meters on. Where most people have found, at least the people that are publishing things that I've been able to find and read about it, and there's also been a few kind of independent, smaller studies done on this. Not enough, I don't think. If you know of any, bigger ones, let me know. Maybe put it in the comments below. I'd like to find out about it. But from what I've been able to find, most people say their power bills actually go up, and there's a lot to get into that. That could be a whole nother video just on that subject, so I won't get into that here. So these smart meters, if you think about it, when did they used to send the meter reader out? Once every month, once every couple months, just to check and make sure they're billing you right. So you would think that they would be able to have these smart meters just send that relay once every month, once every couple of months, and update the power company. That wouldn't be nearly so bad. But you know how often they send these blasts out? They send the radiation blasts about every 30 to 45 seconds. When you get one of these high frequency analyzers that measure the radiation that comes off the smart meters, literally you can see it about every 30 to 45 seconds. The meter pegs, and it's just crazy, and that's just blasting through your house. Now, how much radiation does it put off? The U.S. safety limit is 1,000 microwatts per meter squared. That high frequency analyzer that I had there just a second ago, that measures up to 2,000 microwatts per meter squared, which is twice the U.S. safety limit. Most European countries are like 100, 200 microwatts per meter squared. That's what they allow in their for their safety limits. Do you know how much radiation these smart meters put out? A lot of them blast up to 60,000 microwatts per meter squared. That's 60 times the more generous U.S. Safety standard. Crazy. I don't even know how they get away with putting that stuff in. What's the point of the U.S. safety standard? Anyway, that's a subject I haven't studied into much, but I'd like to, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's what those smart meters put off. So there's two types of dangers that come from these smart meters. The one is this microwave or Wi-Fi radiation that it puts out. So that's the first one. And like I said, that type of radiation, the World Health Organization is classified as a carcinogen. The second way they cause health problems is the smart meters are connected to all of the circuits in your house, and they create what's called dirty electricity. Now, dirty electricity is this form of radiation that goes through the wires of your home. It radiates out of the wires into your home. That sounds like I'm making stuff up or smoking something, but I'm telling you it's the truth. And it's matter of fact, they've been studying this stuff for their studies that go back 60 years. They've known about this. That's how they get all these safety standards. It's just nobody follows it anymore or listens to it because we want our gadgets. We're excited about it and all that. Anyway, so the dirty electricity, how you get that is anytime there's something plugged into a circuit that converts AC power to DC power, it creates dirty electricity. Lots of devices that we have in our home cause it. We get some a little bit from the power company. There's a meter, I don't have it handy to show you, but you can, if you go to RadiationHealthRisks.com, I have in the recommended protection section, you can see there I have the different meters and some of the different protection things that you can get that'll help cut down this radiation. And I just have links to good places to get them too. But anyway, it's called a Graham-Stetzer meter, and it measures dirty electricity. And what everybody says is you want to get the dirty electricity down below about 50. The lower the better, but at least below 50. When you have the homes that I've seen that have smart meters on them, a lot of times they'll have circuits in their house, not all the circuits, but some of the circuits in their house as high as 1,500 not microwatts, it's different reading, but anyway, 1,500 on that reading on the Graham-Stetzer meter. So, that's just way, way, way over what it should be for safe. But again, there's things that you can do even to protect against the dirty electricity. And so that's, but if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it. So that's, smart meters are really bad. The best thing to do on the smart meter, honestly, there is what's called a smart meter guard that you can put on the outside of the smart meter. I've tested it. It cuts out 90 to 95% of the radiation that comes out of the smart meter. I've tested it with one of these, before and after. As a matter of fact, there's a video showing me testing the meter, a meter like that on the video. I mean, on the website, RadiationHealthRisks.com. But anyway, the best thing to do is get the thing off and put an analog meter back on your. A lot of the, depending on what county and state you're in, a lot of the power companies have opt-out programs. Sometimes it costs you a little bit more, but I think it's way worth it to get that carcinogen-causing device out of your house. And a lot of some of the areas where they first put them on, or where they're just now getting smart meters, you might not, they might not have an opt-out program, but you can call the power company. That's how they got the opt-out programs in the other counties, is enough people complaining saying, hey, we want this off our home. There's places where you can order online an analog meter, and you can have an electrician come out. You'll have to check with the coding in the county and what's legal and all that kind of thing. But there's people that replace their smart meters. On my house, I don't have a smart meter. I just have it's an electronic meter that puts out a little bit. I put a smart meter guard on it and everything's, so I'm totally hunky-dory. But if they were to put a smart meter on my house, I'd definitely get it off of there. But anyway, that's the best thing to do to protect you. The smart meter guard will block the radiation, but you'll still have the problem with the dirty electricity if you have the smart meter on. But there's filters that you can get that you plug into the circuits. If you got one of those really high, like 1500, you might need several of them. And there's usually, when you got a circuit that's that high, there's some other devices that's in that room, or some other problems with that circuit too that's causing it to go that high. But with homes with smart meters, most of the circuits are like over 100, 200, in that range, and that's still way over 50, way over in the dangerous range. But you can get filters that you can plug into those circuits to take care of that. And again, if you go onto the website, RadiationHealthRisks.com, onto the recommended protection section, you'll see that, and you can there's some links with some good places to get those, and you can check that out and see if that's something you want to do or not. So enough. That's the smart meters. Number 2 on our list is a Wi-Fi router. Now, especially now that they're coming out with these 5G Wi-Fi routers, well, and that's a whole other subject to get into that I don't have time to go into this video. But you guys want to go on to RadiationHealthRisks.com and get into some of those articles that talk about why 5G is so much more dangerous than 4G or 3G. 3G and 4G were carcinogenic and bad news, but 5G is multiples of that worse. And not only from the devices that we have, but also from the towers that they're putting everywhere. And they're putting more. 5G requires a lot more towers, and so they're just popping up everywhere. So you want to get in and study that and get active in your community on that, learn about it. And again, there's lots of studies on this stuff, so you can get the facts so you know what you're dealing with. Anyway, with Wi-Fi routers in your home, basically, first off, the best thing is not to have a Wi-Fi router. Have your Wi-Fi, go into the settings and turn the Wi-Fi off, or have the internet company that supplied the router, if they're supplying it, go in and turn it off so you don't have the Wi-Fi. Just hardwire everything. Hardwire your computers, your TVs, all that kind of stuff, and then you don't have to deal with the radiation. If you look on the video on RadiationHealthRisks.com, RadiationHealthRisks.com, I keep saying it wrong, sorry about that. There's a link below. Anyway, if you go on there, I've got a video where I actually test the radiation with this high frequency analyzer, this thing right here that I showed you a minute ago. I actually test a Wi-Fi router, and then I put it in something called a Wi-Fi router guard, which I show you that on the recommended protections page of the website as well. But if you have to have Wi-Fi, you can put it in one of these Wi-Fi router guards. You'll still get enough Wi-Fi where you can do everything that you need to do. You can upload, download videos, and do all the stuff that you need to do. We do all that in my house. My son works on his homework. You know, I'm always doing videos and uploading. We do it all, we have a Wi-Fi router, and it's in a router guard. So, and it cuts out 90 to 95% of the radiation. I know, I tested it. But by far the best method, I have that for my son because he likes it. He has his laptop and he does it on his homework, does his homework on it. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I'd get rid of it and I just have everything hardwired. But so use your best judgment on that. But that's an amazing. It's just the difference on those Wi-Fi routers to a cell phone, which is number 3. We're going to be talking about in a minute, is cell phones. On a Wi-Fi router, it's even different than the smart meter. Smart meter's blasting you every 30 to 45 seconds with 60 times, probably, the router guards are still multiple times. It's not as much power as the smart meter, but it's still multiple times of the safety limit. It's like 2,000 or 3,000 microwatts per meter squared. I don't have I haven't measured it with a device big enough to measure, how much is coming out of the Wi-Fi router that we have. But anyway, and even like with a smartphone and a cell phone, that's most dangerous, and most of the radiation is coming out when you're actually in a call. If you turn off your Bluetooth and you turn off your GPS and stuff on your phone, there's not a lot of radiation coming out of it. Even if you're just on Facebook, there is some, so you want to measure it so you know what you're dealing with. But most of the radiation comes out of those cell phones when you're in a call. Same with a cordless phone. But with a Wi-Fi router, it's 24/7, just blasting that radiation through your house. And so I really recommend you getting one of these, and this is on the recommended protection. These are not that expensive, but that's the best thing, this and a Graham-Stetzer meter, because you can just go around each circuit in your house, you can go around to each device in your house, and you can measure, and you know exactly what you're dealing with. You get the protections, you can see, you measure again, and then you know whether you fix the problem or not. For the price, these are pretty cheap. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, so that's number 3 is the Wi-Fi router. Again, the best thing is hardwire everything. If not, get a Wi-Fi router guard. There's a video that I show that on the video section of RadiationHealthRisks.com. So go there and watch that, and go to the article. I talk about it in the article that's linked below, the 7 worst dangers in your home also. Okay, the third thing that we're going to talk about is cell phones. Everybody's heard, unless you're living under a rock somewhere, everybody's heard that cell phones put off radiation. There's been lots of studies done on that. The brain tumors that happen in the area of the brain where people would hold their cell phone or wear the Bluetooth earbuds, that area of the brain tumors have increased dramatically. If you think about it, and that's the other thing. And now the smartphones are coming out with 5G, which is that much more powerful, that much more radiation. But there again, just like all this other stuff, I'll show you. There's little devices like this that you can set your phone in like that, have it sitting on your dresser. That'll block, most of the radiation. What I do is I set it up a little bit higher so that the angle is like this. It cuts out, and there's bigger ones you can get if you want to make sure that it's all the way in, that blocks it. Then you can get cases for your phone where in the case it has a radiation blocking material that blocks, depending on the case, you can get almost up to where it blocks 100%. Now, the caution there is you still got radiation going around the edges of the thing, but it blocks most of it. By far the best protection, I think, my own opinion, for the smartphones. Now, these types of headphones by themselves are actually just as bad as a cell phone, if not worse, because when you have them plugged into your cell phone and you put this in your ear, this cord acts like a antenna. The radiation goes right from your phone right up into your ear. You know, your skull blocks out a little bit of the radiation, but when you have your headset in there or into your ear, there's no bone. It just goes tissue, goes right into your brain. But if you have one of these, and matter of fact, I give one of them away. I still got to get another one. I recommend having a couple of them on here. These are little filters that you can put on the end of your headphones, right before where it plugs into the smartphone, like that. And these filters, they're kind of like the Graham-Stetzer meter filters that block the dirty electricity, but the cord is actually wrapped. Oops, I dropped it. Sorry about that. The cord is actually runs through it. Anyway, it blocks most of the radiation that's coming through the cord. That's why I like to have a couple of them on there. And you still get all the sound. Doesn't block the sound at all, but it cuts out all that radiation that's coming through. And even the cord laying on you, you're not getting the radiation of the cord like with a pregnant mother or whatever. You don't get that radiation going into your body there. So again, the bad news is there's lots of these things that are really dangerous that are causing radiation, carcinogen level radiation in our homes. But if we're smart about it, we can find out, identify what dangers we have, and we can take steps to where we can still have our gadgets and be safe. So anyway, I just think it's I like my gadgets like everybody, but it's nice to know that you can have your gadgets and not be exposed. At least you can control the amount of radiation that you're exposed to. So by the way, one thing I forgot to mention on the routers, when I measure the router, and there's a video showing me actually measuring before and after sticking a Netgear router in a Wi-Fi router guard, it pegs the meter, man. It puts out a lot more radiation than what this meter will read, and this reads twice the U.S. safety standard. So does a cell phone. So do the little Bluetooth headsets. You can watch those videos where I actually test them. But like I said, there's protections that you can do. So be smart. Doesn't do us any good to say, that's a bunch of baloney and put our heads in the sand. Let's, be smart, learn what the facts are, look at the actual scientific studies that have been done, read those. They're not that difficult to understand, and learn it for yourself, and then you're smart. We're all smart. Then we can make some educated decisions about how to keep our family safe. So for the rest of the 4 things in this article, because remember there were 7, so what would that be? 7 the worst dangers of things that are 7 worst radiation dangers in our home. The other 4, I don't want to make this video any longer, so the other 4, if you just go to the link below the video, you can click on it. It'll take you to that article, and you can read those. Appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the video if this was helpful to you, and like it, and comment too. All that stuff kind of helps get the word out. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you took this in the spirit it was meant. This is good news. You can learn how to be safe and protect your family. All right, I appreciate it. Talk to you in the next video. Talk to you later.